Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about how I build muscle without weights. I'm not only going to be talking about how I do this, but more about the science behind building muscle in general and how you can do this with or without weights. Now, whether you're a beginner or an advanced athlete, the approach to building muscle with bodyweight training is exactly the same. It only differs with the types of progressive overload required and the variation of exercises used to ensure your muscles are being challenged and forced into hypotrophy no matter what level you're at. If you've followed my channel for a while, you'll know that I frequently post home workouts with no equipment, and many of these workouts have no repeat exercises. I do this not only because they actually work and they're very good workouts, however, you guys love them. Although these types of workouts are highly effective, they're not the most ideal type of workout to do when you're trying to build muscle. Yes, they're still very good workouts for fitness, fat burning, muscle endurance, and low degree muscle building. However, having a workout more focused towards one specific muscle group or a couple different muscle groups is ideal for muscle building. That's when you want to get really serious with it. So what we're going to be covering today is types of exercises, reps and sets, training to failure, rest times, frequency, progressive overload, and just a final recap. So first, let's start with muscle hypotrophy. What is it? You're probably wondering, what even is this word? I've heard it thrown about, but I really kind of don't know what it is and what it's used for. Why do I need this to build muscle? Well, muscle hypotrophy is needed to build muscle, and we usually do this by performing exercises for a given amount of repetitions and sets. This can be done using both weights and your own body weight. Muscle hypotrophy occurs when muscle protein synthesis exceeds muscle protein breakdown and results in positive net protein balance in cumulative periods. Mechanical tension is the main driver when it comes to enforcing muscle growth. This is when the muscle contracts and retracts in any given movement. So to add resistance to a muscle, for example doing a push-up, we're adding tension to the muscle, therefore we're forcing it to grow. As we go through repetitions in a set, the tension in the muscle increases. So how do we create the perfect muscle building workout? Well, we need to start with the types of exercises you're going to perform to put enough stress on your muscles to help them grow. For me personally, I choose bodyweight training or calisthenic style training. This is how I've built my physique. This is what I enjoy doing, and I very rarely incorporate weights into my training. Now, there's a clear difference when it comes to weight training versus bodyweight training. With weight training, weights are used to create resistance, to put tension on the muscles to produce hypotrophy. Weights also make it a little easier to add progressive overload over time. All you need to do is increase the weight that you're lifting. Whereas bodyweight workouts rely solely on your body weight to create resistance and apply tension to the muscle. You're probably wondering, how can you apply progressive overload to this to make it harder? Well, there are definitely ways that you can do this. One is by slowing down the retraction part of the movement, which puts extra tension on the muscles. You can also add like a weighted vest or ankle weights depending on the body part that you're actually working out at the time. We'll talk about this a little bit more in depth later on in the video. So there are loads of bodyweight exercises you can do to build muscle. Some of my favorites, and I definitely know there are many people that do not like this. However, it's a huge part of bodyweight training, and I'm telling you, it is so good for your entire upper body, and that is push-ups. This is because there are so many different varieties of push-ups that you can do that target the different muscles around your arms and in your chest and back, and also your entire body. Because when you think about it, when you're doing a push-up, everything is contracted. You do need to use all of your muscles to complete a push-up effectively and get the most out of it. All it takes is a simple change of your hand position when doing push-ups, and you can be working a completely different muscle. When it comes to legs, controlled squats and lunges are among my favorite, as well as adding some plyometric and more explosive types of movements. Also, if you want to take your bodyweight training to another level and invest in some equipment, you can get a power station like I've got, which allows you to do pull-ups, it allows you to do dips, it allows you to do hanging leg raises, or you could get yourself some parallel bars or some push-up bars. There are loads of different pieces of equipment that you can get that are very cost effective, that you can add to your little home gym collection and add some variety to your bodyweight training. Right, moving on to reps and sets. This is something that's really important when it comes to training and building muscle. You do want to be getting the amount of reps correct and your sets so that you can effectively build muscle. First of all, for anyone unsure, I just want to cover what reps and sets are. Reps or repetitions is the amount of times you perform a single exercise. So if I do 1 push-up, that's considered 1 rep. If I do 12 push-ups, that's 12 reps. So 12 reps in a row is considered 1 set. So for any given exercise, you might perform 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Now, the amount of reps you complete and the intensity of those reps play a big part in helping you achieve a specific goal, such as strength training, muscle hypertrophy, and endurance training. It's been thought for many years that an 8 to 12 rep range is the ideal rep range for building muscle. Lower than this is ideal for strength, and higher than this is ideal for muscle endurance. However, recent studies have revealed that you can train with a much wider rep range and still achieve muscle hypertrophy. You can train with loads as low as 30 to 60% of your 1 rep maximum and still build muscle similar to how you would if you were training at 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max, as long as you're training to failure or close to failure. Failure means that as you're nearing the end of the set, you're really struggling to complete it effectively. So let's say you're doing 12 reps. By the time you're getting to, I don't know, maybe 10 reps, you feel the tension, like it's hurting and you're struggling to complete that with good form. So previously 8 to 12 reps was considered the ideal range for muscle hypertrophy. However, now it's about 6 to 30 reps that can still build you muscle. However, keep in mind that training with a much lower intensity, like 30% of your 1 rep maximum, is not as effective for building muscle as if you're training with 60 to 70% of your 1 rep max. I personally keep my rep range in the 10 to 20 reps, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, depending on the type of exercise I'm doing and how hard that is for me to personally complete it. I don't always train to failure either. Again, it depends on the type of exercise that I'm completing and how hard it is for me to complete. For example, if I'm doing tricep dips, hanging tricep dips, they're a fairly difficult exercise to complete high volumes of for myself. So yeah, I will go to failure when I'm doing tricep dips. Same when I'm doing pull-ups. It's another difficult exercise to do and requires a lot of strength and good form to complete it properly. Form is so important, more important than the amount of reps that you can do. Okay, so if you can only do 3 pull-ups or 2 pull-ups with perfect form, that is so much better than if you're to try and bang out 10 pull-ups with really poor form and you're not even really completing them properly. Okay, so form over quantity is the way you want to go. The key is to always be pushing yourself. If it's feeling easy, you're not pushing yourself enough and you're going to struggle to grow muscle. You really want to be feeling that tension and feeling like you've had a workout. Don't be easy on yourself. You need to push yourself every workout and challenging yourself every time. Building muscle takes grit, sweat, and consistency. So we've established the rep range. Your next question is, how many sets should you be doing? It's a little unclear as to the perfect set range for muscle hypertrophy. There's no solid evidence that says that you should be doing this or should be doing that. I aim for 12 sets per week per muscle. For example, if I'm working my triceps, I might do 4 sets of hanging dips, 4 sets of diamond push-ups, and 4 sets of parallel dips. If I'm doing biceps, I might do 4 sets of undergrip pull-ups, 4 sets of normal regular push-ups, and 4 sets of bicep push-ups. Another style I like to add to my training, which is a little different, is to perform 1 pull-up, stop for 1 to 5 seconds maximum, another pull-up, repeat that until you've done 20 pull-ups. I'll also do like a bit of a drop set with push-ups, for example. I'll start with 12 push-ups, then rest for 20 seconds, 11 push-ups, 20 seconds rest, 10, 20 seconds rest, 9, 20 seconds rest, you get it, okay? And I'll come right down to 1. Sounds easier than it is. It really puts a lot of tension on the muscles. And again, it's just another way to mix up the workout and just push yourself, challenge yourself, and see what you like, see what works for you. Now, when it comes to rest times, again, it's a gray area. There's no real specific rest time that you should be having when it comes to muscle hypertrophy. I personally just go by how my body's feeling. You don't want to be resting too little that you're jumping straight back into another set when your muscle just hasn't recovered enough and you're not near able to complete that set. So you're doing 12 reps in the next set and you can only get to 5 and you're absolutely stuffed and you can't do it. That's probably a sign that you haven't rested long enough. So 60 seconds minimum, I would say you should be resting. I like to stretch it out to about 90 seconds, depending on the type of exercise that I'm doing and the intensity of it. You can even go longer than that. You can go up 2 to 3 minutes depending on the exercise that you're doing as a rest. You don't want to be resting and just sitting about getting sidetracked on your phone and your muscles recovering so much that the next set just becomes easy again. When you're doing a workout, really try and track your rest times so that you are staying consistent with it and that your muscles are being put under pressure the whole time. Now, next one is training frequency. How often should you be training each muscle per week? If you're doing a minimum of 12 sets per week, it really doesn't matter how you spread those sets out over the week, whether you want to complete 12 sets in one workout or you want to split those sets up over 3 different workouts. That's absolutely fine. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't really make any difference to muscle hypertrophy and the results you're going to get, as long as you're staying consistent and pushing yourself. However, some common sense does come into play here. Let's say you're wanting to work a specific muscle a little more. You're wanting to really push that and grow that muscle. So you've decided to do 20 sets per week. It might be a little bit of a push to be performing 20 sets of shoulder exercises in one workout. That will put your muscle under a lot of pressure and really fatigue it, and you may not get the benefits that you could if you split that up over, say, 3 workouts. So a little bit of common sense comes into it, and just make that judgment for yourself how you're going to choose to structure your workouts over the week. When your muscles become too fatigued, it's very easy to lose form and you won't be completing the exercise the way it should be to be able to effectively grow muscle. I personally perform targeted muscle building workouts 3 times per week. So let's say I'll do biceps and triceps, I'll do shoulders, and then I'll do a full upper body workout. And then I'll also combine that with adding 2 to 3 just full body hip workouts throughout the week. Full fitness, endurance, and muscle preservation. Now, finally, progressive overload. So what actually is this? This is just when you increase the mechanical tension placed on a muscle over time. As we progress, our muscles adapt to the training. So let's say 2 push-ups used to be really difficult for you 5 weeks ago. 2 push-ups now might be really easy, so you're not going to be placing your muscles under the same tension. Therefore, you'll need to increase the number of repetitions that you're doing. So you might have gone from being able to do 2 push-ups and failing to 5 push-ups and failing 5 weeks later. So that is an example of progressive overload. As I said before, when you're doing weight training, it's easier to add the progressive overload because you've got different weights that you can be lifting. Let's say you started with a 2 kg dumbbell, then you can advance to a 3, 4, 5, 6 kg dumbbell. Easy. However, with bodyweight training, you're relying on your body weight only to add that progressive overload. So ways you can do that is by increasing the amount of reps you do, increasing the amount of sets, changing your body position, which can make the workout harder, slowing down the movement to add the tension to your muscles, or you can add some weights to it. So for example, a weighted vest or some ankle weights. I personally get bored with isolated muscle training, which is part of the reason why I stopped going to the gym and solely using weights. And that's why now I incorporate a variety of training styles, such as targeted muscle building workouts and some plyometric HIIT style workouts that will just work my whole body and work on fitness and endurance. I like to challenge myself by working on some calisthenic skills such as handstands, balance training. I also love adding Pilates to my workouts for mobility and flexibility, and I do also add some free weight training here and there, so using dumbbells or kettlebells in my workouts. Not often, but as I said, I like to change it up and just add variety there. However, the majority of my workouts for the past 2.5 years have been bodyweight training, and I've never felt fitter or better in my life since changing to bodyweight training. That's the truth. So guys, that's it. That's how I build muscle using my body weight only. I hope I've explained muscle building well enough for you that you have a much better understanding of how this actually works, how hypotrophy works, and how you can go away and even design your own workout program yourself to help you build muscle. Hopefully this has given you some motivation to kickstart your bodyweight training journey. Any questions or discussions, please leave me a comment. I'd love to chat with you. And thanks guys for listening. We'll see you next time.